All right, we're live. So we're a few days late. Hey, it's New Year's Eve, man.
It is New Year's Eve. It's kind of a fun day for an episode.
Happy New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything crazy?
Nope. Get the kids to bed, and then I think me and Danielle are going to play a little Mario Party after this, and then we'll
Nice.
probably be in bed by about 10.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make it to midnight either. Marlis, I think, is already going to bed. She got in. I don't know what time it was this afternoon.
Yeah, she ended up flying back. Yeah, I think their flight left at like 8. But yeah, makes sense.
I
So,
shouldn't do construction stuff before jumping onto a podcast. Man alive.
I was
All right,
wrestling.
so the Vikings, and so we're a couple days after the game because you went to the game.
I did.
You, Danielle, Alyssa, Tyler, and Lydia. So
Yep.
five of my kids. Actually, all five of my no,
Well,
yeah, 5 kids.
yeah.
3, yeah, okay.
Three of
Anything.
your
Because there
their
was one kid and spouse. Well, I guess maybe 2 kids, 2 spices. Spices is it spouse or spice?
spices for plural.
Is it? Yeah. So two spice. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So Vikings pulled out another one, man. They made it exciting. The game, this is one of those games I thought where the score didn't reflect the play, but the other way, right? Remember a few weeks ago, we were talking about the Vikings and who are they playing? The Bears,
Yeah. Yep.
where, yeah, they kind of didn't deserve to win that game. But this one, they really deserved to win this game. And it was a lot closer than I expected.
Yeah. A lot closer and just thinking about like you get it's same thing, kind of year in year out with the Vikings of kind of get that early lead at one time 27-10 and be kind
Yeah.
of let off, but again it like you said, it never felt like they weren't ever in control. Green Bay never had the ball with the opportunity to take the lead.
Yeah.
We were always had the ball and plays were made when they needed to be made, and that's what makes a good team.
Well,
And we
they
don't
were they outscored us 15-0 in that fourth quarter.
Yeah,
So going into the fourth quarter, you're up 27-10. It's like, man, we got this thing in the bag.
yeah. We ended up moving down from our seats just to like the concourse and watching it from standing room,
Mm-hmm.
just because it was like, all right, might as well try to skip some of the lines and get down and watch the rest of the game here. And then,
Yeah.
and then obviously the little comeback.
Oh man, can you imagine if we would have lost that game?
No,
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 I don't think so either.
would have been brutal.
26 first downs to 17. 441 total yards to 271. We
Yeah.
both had a turnover. They had a fumble. We had an interception. I mean, yeah, the game should have been, I guess, more 1 than 2 points. Is that a
Yeah.
thing? More 1?
More one, more more victoried.
More victory, more 1. Yeah. Did you watch the Detroit game last
I
night?
did. Yep, I sure
did too.
did. Yeah, that was a good battle until it wasn't.
They have no defense.
None. Their whole decimated with injuries, and yeah, it's going to be a problem for them. I mean,
Yeah.
whether or not we win or lose on Sunday night coming up here, they're gonna struggle in the playoffs as is. I mean, just when you get to the playoffs, you're playing good teams,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so it's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, I agree. Jordan Love had a crappy game, which was nice to see. I
Yeah.
think in the first half, would he have like 45 yards passing or something like that?
Yeah, they show that at halftime. They show up like the quarterback comparison, and Sam Darnold had like 240 yards, and Jordan Love same. I think it was like I think it was maybe either 64 or 46. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter, but like it's nice to see. They're paying him like 50 million a year, and we're paying Darnold 10. So just goes to show.
I was a little nervous going into this game because, I mean, Green Bay just smacked the Saints 34-0.
Yeah,
If any team kind of has our number in games like this, it would be,
always. Yeah, the spoilers. The Saints game, that was the first shutout of the year, surprisingly.
Wow.
No other team has been shut out. That was the first one. Uh, granted, they're playing, I don't know what's his name, Rittler, something.
I don't even know who meaning who's quarterbacking for
Yeah,
the
exactly. And then,
Saints.
something Rittler. I can't remember his first name. He was good in college.
Rattler.
Rattler. Almost had it.
Yeah.
And then
Spencer Rattler out of South Carolina.
The Gamecocks. Yeah, and then they didn't have Elvin
5th
Kamara.
round pick.
Yeah. But yeah, this is definitely
he's had a rough go of it, this Spencer Rattler. 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions for the season. He's only played in a few games, but man, that's
it's one of those things, you get thrust into the starting role like that, and a team that doesn't have a lot of weapons, and I don't know. I got to imagine at the same time the coaching staff is not great.
Yeah.
But
are you still kind of bent out of shape about, what was that, 2017? What the hell year was that? 2009?
The Brett Favre year? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bounty Gate? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm still bent out of shape about that too. So I'm not sad to see the Saints get their ass whooped a little bit.
No, I'm always pleased to see the Saints lose. And anytime that I'm blanking on his name too, Sean Payton. Anytime Sean Payton loses, he's out in Denver now, but same thing. I'm cheering against Denver. I like Bo Nix. I almost wish we would got him. Good team out there, but you just I
think JJ McCarthy is going to have. I think he's going to be just the same, the exact type of quarterback that Kevin O'Connell likes to work with.
Oh yeah, I bet. Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback whisperer. It's perfect. The situation that obviously you don't want to see him get hurt and have to sit out the whole year, and maybe could have gotten some play time in like blowouts.
Yeah.
But it's like perfect opportunity to really take McCarthy and mold him to what you kind of want him to be. And there's no reason I would have taken him if he didn't have those intangibles of, a hard worker, good work ethic, and, obviously some kind of base to be a good quarterback. And so, Josh McCown too, you got to give him some credit. The quarterback coach, he's
true.
He's obviously in there behind the
He's
scenes.
got a lot of support. Yeah. And it would be, like I was saying in the last episode, it's, you got such a hell of a quarterback room, with so much experience, and, it's a good place for him to be.
Yes. Yeah. And you're, again, another great team and a great fan base. Immediately with the draft pick, I think everyone loved it. Everyone immediately started cheering for him. I saw JJ McCarthy whiteout jersey in the row in front of us at the game.
Really?
And so, so people are pumped to see him play, and it'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the year.
Right.
When the season comes to a close, and
we got 2 14-2 teams going into next Sunday night, late night game.
Yeah. Yeah. Last game of the season. Last regular game of the season for the NFL.
Yeah. And watching the Lions, man, that offense is just rock solid, but it's not like the 49ers have much of a defense to write home about, so hopefully the Vikings can, the Vikings defense can stall them enough. I don't think you're going to stop them, but stall them enough to just take advantage of their shitty defense.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think the 49ers, I think I heard sometime during the game that they had 14 players on IR.
Yeah.
Which is obviously just brutal. And then, I think if it ends up being a shootout, I don't think we're going to win in a shootout game. I don't think that's our style. But if the defense can make a couple of stops here and there, maybe you get a couple of turnovers.
Yeah.
I think we could put up 30, 40 points on their defense. But if it's, big play after big play back and forth, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to have to come up with a couple of stops. And man, I think, what the hell is it? Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
In his last 5-6 games, 20 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Throwing like almost 90% completion percentage.
The dude is on fire right now.
Yeah, he's red hot.
I don't know how you can rattle him.
It doesn't feel like you can. And but he came from the Rams, and I feel like that was going to be the end of his career when he got to Detroit, because it was kind of a one
Yeah,
for
that's
one
where
trade,
everybody
him and
goes to
Stafford,
die.
right? And then
Yeah.
obviously get Dan Campbell in there, and then they got a lot of young talent with like Amon Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta. I mean,
Yeah.
they're good.
Gibbs
Yeah,
is a stud, man. They take him with the 12th pick, I think, last year,
yeah,
which was the highest. Because I saw him on the broadcast yesterday. The highest the Lions have ever picked a running back since
like Barry Sanders, is he up there?
since Barry Sanders, which I think he was like the 5th pick or something. So you were at the game. What was it? Tell me what it was like, man. Was it loud?
Oh yeah,
Crazy?
it was a ton of fun. Yeah, we got there like 1:30 when the gates opened at 1, I think, or somewhere around that time. We got there inside the stadium at 1:30. A lot of Packer fans, which you kind of expect to get a lot of transplants that move from Wisconsin school, or it's not that far of a drive to come watch the game. So
Yeah.
I would keep trying to put a number on it, like 60-40, 60% Viking fans, 40%
wow.
Packer. There's a lot, but it might be more like 70-30. There's a
Packers
couple
fans always travel well too, man. I
They
mean,
do.
every away game, there's
Yeah.
a lot of green.
Yeah, they had some go pack go chants going on like third downs, and yeah, it was like, what do you do about it? You just got to sit there and listen to it. But no, the home crowd, the Vikes fans, it was super loud in there on every third down, and even all the way to the end. No one's leaving. That place was still packed to the end.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah.
The Packers lost both games to us this year and both games to the Lions. They beat the Bears. I think they got the Bears this next week, but they have a really terrible division record.
Yeah.
This year.
With the game that we just, I mean, obviously on Sunday was decently important to them, because I think they're going to slide down to like the 7th seed or something like that.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, go play the Eagles probably.
Yeah. The cool thing about watching the Packers is it seemed like we were more mentally in the game than they were, like throughout, when you were watching, because I was watching on TV and you were at the game, but LaFleur was kind of a baby, over on the sidelines, just couldn't believe the calls, and and I'm used to seeing it the other way around. You know what I mean? I'm used to seeing the Packers kind of getting the calls, maintaining their cool, and us kind of melting down. It was cool to see it the other way around.
Yeah, no, I've never liked him. I think that obviously it kind of all starts with the head coach and how how the whole team kind of holds their heads and how they handle certain situations. And I think the whole Packers team, obviously there's a ton of bias being a Vikings fan. But I can think of like one moment, I think it was this year, way on early in the season. LaFleur was trying to run off the field at some point or halftime or something, and he ended up shoving like a field, whoever, some kind of staff on the field, trying to, guide him or tell him to go a certain way, and he ended up shoving him. Like, you never see Kevin O'Connell do anything like that. And so that's, just kind of the culture that head coach can kind of breed. And I think LaFleur is not. I mean, for them maybe, but for what I want from my team.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a hell of a coach. I think his first 2 seasons, there were 13-win seasons for Green Bay.
Yeah.
They're going to make the playoffs again this year. They didn't get the injuries that I think, the Lions got, or certainly not what the 49ers got. Love was out, what, a game or two with something. I can't remember, his ankle or something.
Yeah, it was an ankle. Yep.
So, it's good. It was good to see the Vikings. It started off Green Bay, first drive down the field, right? Kicks a field goal. They're up 3-0. We didn't score in the first quarter.
No, we did force that fumble.
Yeah, we did force a fumble. And we were moving the ball a little bit. Missed a super long field goal. I was surprised we didn't go for it on that. I think it was 4th and 2.
Yeah.
And we went for like a 57 or 58-yard field goal, and it was like,
it looked good from obviously inside the stadium, but off the crossbar.
Yeah, and you could hear it. Could you hear it in the stadium?
Oh yeah.
You could hear it in the stadium too?
Oh yeah. You could hear a pin drop when that ball was in the air.
Wow. Yeah, because on TV you could hear it was like thunk, and it's like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit the post twice. He hit the crossbar once and the post the other time.
Yeah. I think he's probably, I mean, I don't know at all. It's just speculation. I'm assuming that his injury that he, he's 2-3 games back from, I would imagine it's probably still a little bothersome. It's probably not 100%. But, obviously, if you hurt your leg as a kicker,
it's kind of an important part of your body.
Kind of,
when you're
yeah.
a kicker.
And something that's semi-related to that is penalties. On obviously, we had the field goal, I think it was right before half, where we had to kick it 3 times because there was one of their guys lined up in the neutral zone. And
did you see the replay on that?
I did not, but you could tell. I mean, he looked way offside.
I don't think he was that much. I mean, you could have gone either way because at least on the replay, because they showed the replay a couple times. I was like, yeah, I mean, you could have. It was a good call, but you could have not called it too, and nobody would have cared. Yeah. I think if you would have not called it, the fans, none of us would have noticed.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Yeah, it will take what you can get, and then.
But man, LaFleur's head just about exploded with that call. I was like, oh yeah, because I don't like LaFleur either. I mean, he's a good coach, I'll give you that, but
yeah,
I think he's a dick. So I was happy to see him just getting all bent out of shape about that. Yeah. And then the late, man, I hate those late timeouts,
Nonsense.
Basically the ball is snapped and you're calling a timeout.
No one had any idea what was going on.
Right.
The whole stadium, Kevin O'Connell, what's happening. And
it was so late. That was such a late, but then gave us another shot and he, put it away. So we did go into the half up 13-3, which felt pretty good because it also felt like they couldn't get any. They were running the ball good. Jacobs had a pretty damn good game,
Yeah.
But Jordan Love was off. He just kind of looked rattled the whole game.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that doesn't really take sacks, but he does. I mean, if you can put pressure on him and make him uncomfortable in the pocket, it's gonna be a long day for him.
Yeah, and he struggled out of the pocket too, because normally, I mean, he's a fairly good runner, and he's an athletic guy. He can make some, especially when he rolls out to the right.
Yeah,
but he wasn't hitting any of those, which was good for us.
Yeah, a couple misses. And then real quick back to the penalties. I got another little gripe. The low, they called a low block.
Oh God, yes.
On Harrison Smith on that screen pass. I mean, it's clear. I mean, 2 things on that.
It wasn't a low block. He was at his waist.
Exactly.
And number 2, he pushed him down.
Trying to make the tackle. He's trying to make the play.
Right.
Like, he's not intentionally just diving at his knees. He's trying to cut down and go for the guy behind him.
And later on in the game, I can't remember what part of the game it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was obviously a low block. Oh my God.
Comes across the line and dives. And Patrick Jones is out for indefinitely. I mean, he's probably not coming back this year. He's having a career year, and he just ended his season on a,
Who was that? That was Kraft?
Robert Kraft, I think is Robert Kraft. What is it? It's not Robert Kraft. It's something Kraft. Number 85, their tight end. I don't know his first name.
Did he get a fine or anything?
No, I don't know if he got a fine, but when it happened, obviously it was pretty close in the situation because obviously as soon as that play happened and then Patrick Jones went down, the whole stadium was booing and then
here's the latest update that I got. The Packers tight end Tucker Kraft's block on Vikings. Jones creates debate, but no serious injury. It looks like no serious injury. Wasn't, and Jones isn't ruled out for next Sunday's game. So
now, okay. I was watching the press conference from Kevin O'Connell yesterday. Yeah, and he just said that he's, not anything serious, but he's not. He's going to miss. I think he said miss significant time.
Okay,
which I don't know what that means. I don't know.
But it's always 24 to 48 hours later when
official. Yeah,
the swelling kind of comes down a little bit.
See what's going on.
Not so sore. I used to a couple times in John Randall. John Randall used to go to the day after Vikings games. He used to go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Minneapolis. And
you've told me the story, but I love to hear it. So,
oh my gosh, yeah. Every time he looked worse than an old man. I mean, he could hardly move, and this was at the prime of his career.
Yeah.
But the reason is because you just take such a beating every game. I mean, you got to rehab. You got to, get in the pool. You got to, get shit
Yeah.
worked out. So, maybe it was like that. Maybe it was, it looks pretty bad.
I mean,
Because it certainly looked,
yeah.
it was a shitty block. And the fact that, again, Matt LaFleur, he defended it. Oh, totally legal. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Jerk.
Yeah, and when right after it happened, they showed Tucker Kraft on the big screen. I won't say jumbotron, but it's just the screens at US Bank, and the boos were raining down. The whole stadium was shaking. It was louder when they showed him on the big screen after the play than it was probably any other down or any other play in the game. And you could tell it was getting to him because he was just shaking his head. Like, man,
Right.
sure, maybe it's not your fault. Maybe, that's how you're probably taught to block because it is technically a legal play, but I don't think it should be. I think, you're already going to blindside the defensive end as you're cutting back like that. Why you got to dive at his knees?
Well, even if it is legal, it's unnecessary.
Exactly. Yeah. Just put your shoulder into his chest.
Yeah, because like you said, he wasn't in the play.
Yeah. Not at all.
Jones wasn't going to be making a tackle or anything. It was just, yeah.
Yeah.
Which almost makes it cheaper because, when you're not in the play, sometimes you let off a little bit, right? And so you're not really paying attention. And next thing you know, you're cut at the knees.
Yeah, by another guy that's 230 pounds. And, talking from experience when I, playing high school football and even a little bit in college, pulling was the best play. I played right guard. And those pulling plays, my favorite, because the defensive end has no idea you're coming. Yeah. And so I don't know why you'd want to dive at his knees. I want to light him up. I want to put him on his back.
Exactly.
I don't want to destroy his knee. I want to destroy his confidence.
It destroys pride.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it was a weird one.
Yeah, I noticed the same things when, from here. It was like the first call. I mean, in truth, they were both legal, right? The one that was called against us, against Harrison Smith, and the one not called against, Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
It's shitty.
A couple of questionable things, but ultimately go ahead.
So we come out of the half. We're up 13-3.
Yeah.
March right down the field. We won the toss, so we deferred, got the ball in the second half, went down the field. Next thing you know, it's 20-3.
Yep.
20 unanswered points. Yeah. And at that point, because I have, Packers friends, and I just give them shit, because, I always play off like, I'm not a Vikings fan. I don't care.
Yeah.
They know I am, but if you act like you're not, then everything they say, it doesn't bother you, and bothers them that it doesn't bother you.
Yeah. And then you stop.
Yeah. So, he was getting like, he was like, yeah, it's game over. And I'm like, yeah, there's still a lot of football left, Pack can come back and whatever. And, then start of the fourth quarter, we're up 27-10.
Yeah.
Up 17 points. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. But, being a Vikings fan for as long as I have been, you could be up 50 points.
You're still holding your breath.
Yes, to go into the fourth quarter and be like, no, we can fuck this up. I know we can.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody can, it's our Vikings. So the Vikings started in 1960. This is our 64th season. Or would it make it the 65th? I can't remember.
I think 64th.
Because if 1960 was the first,
would it probably be 1960 to 61? 65th.
This would be the 65th then.
Wouldn't it be 60 to 61? And then this would be 24 to 25. So 20 or 64.
Yeah, but 60 difference. To 61 would be the first season.
And then 24 to 25.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. It always confuses me.
You went to college. I did too, but I was I was drunk. I don't remember it.
I do remember. I never missed any classes. That was a good.
I know you're so responsible, man. I don't know where you got any of this. You got it all from your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
There's no way you got it from me.
Well, I knew I was paying for it. It was like,
that's true.
It cost me money to be here. Why wouldn't I?
That's true.
Yeah, I can go party on the street for free.
Yeah. So overall, good. I thought it was a good game. I thought Darnold played a good game. He had one You
Yeah,
know,
that was I
pretty
don't
shitty
even
pass, but I'll
yeah,
take it.
up in the air. That guy made a pretty decent play. He was I don't he maybe didn't even see him. I think it was maybe what it was because
Yeah,
the ball was going to get there, but that guy kind of jumped it.
yeah,
But then yeah, I think the one kind of concern, and not even concern.
yeah. That was T.J. Hawkinson, and T.J. Hawkinson, his hands were right behind the other guy's hands. I mean,
Yeah,
had that guy, but it was clear. It was a pretty easy pick.
yeah, it'd be nice to see Hawkinson get some more action, but
Five catches, 68 yards, man.
yeah, again, yeah, that's. I'm thinking I want JJ numbers as well. I want JJ numbers for everyone, or Jalen Naylor numbers for everyone if you want to go there.
Yeah, I thought we talk about like maybe the game ball. Maybe it's Naylor.
Yeah,
Naylor. He was targeted 5 times, caught all 5 passes, and not all those 5 passes were easy to catch.
no, they were not.
And so 5 for 5, 81 yards and a touchdown. Look, that wide receiving core with Jefferson, Naylor, and Addison.
And then, yeah, you toss Hawkinson in there. I mean, they're scary.
I wonder how much of Sam Darnold's success this season is because you have those people to throw to.
I gotta imagine it helps.
It's gotta help.
It's gotta help.
Yeah.
Another thing I was hearing or listening to, like JJ, like maybe he was mic'd up last game or something like that, and he was telling Sam like, don't hold it, let it rip. Give me a chance and I'll get up there and get it. Like I'm the best receiver here in the NFL. Like just throw it in my direction. I'll get up there and I'll get it. Yeah. So I'd imagine, with anything, if you're, you kind of have that safety net of like Justin Jefferson, if he's singled or maybe even doubled, and you can at least try to put it where he can only get it. That's got to be a good confidence boost.
Yeah, and watching Darnold, game after game, he just continues to gain more and more confidence. This game that he played this week was the most confident Darnold I've seen.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah,
he didn't look rattled. He was decisive. He was making his reads quick. He was, and you know who the commentator was for the broadcast? It was Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yep.
And man, if you want to hear somebody who knows football, obviously talk about football and talk about quarterbacking. That's the guy, right?
Yeah.
And he was, I really like Tom Brady as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
I want to hear him more because he was calling out things. He was calling out reads before the play was starting, and you're like, really? And then it come to the play would play out and it'd be like, holy shit.
Yeah. I remember when Tony Romo first started being a broadcaster after he retired, he was doing similar things. And I haven't heard Tom Brady do a broadcast yet, but I'd imagine that it's just kind of a different level. Like, Tom Brady's going to be able to probably predict the play a little better and give you more insight.
It'd be like Michael Jordan calling basketball.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, and I watched that, after the game, he gave him the LFG player of the game or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were kind of shooting the shit, and it's cool. I mean, obviously, like you said, if you want to hear anyone that knows football talk, the guy that's going to do it, the guy that's going to be is Tom Brady, especially when it comes to quarterback play. And when he's at, high-end Sam Darnold talking about that, it's cool to see. So
yeah. It was certainly a lot of credibility, and in the way he talks, it's not like he's not an attention grabber. He's just a guy who's, analyzing the game. And he gave Sam Darnold a hell of a lot of credit on, just about everything. He was also saying, like, it's the best Sam Darnold I've ever seen. He's making good reads. He's decisive. He's not holding on to the ball. So it was good to hear that because I saw the same thing, this game more so than any other game from Darnold this year. If he can come with that same sort of confidence, the same sort of swagger without becoming a head case, it's going to be a hell of a game next week, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm excited. I'm excited for it, especially no one that I watch games with, like, sometimes Daniel's parents or Danielle or, no one here likes Sunday night games. I love them.
I do too.
I love the atmosphere.
It's quiet.
The lights. Yeah, it's quiet out. It's you in the game. I love them.
Yeah, I agree. Cashman, hell of a game on defense. 11 tackles, 1.5 sacks. This is coming from, a Green Bay team that doesn't give up a lot of sacks. They give up no sacks last week against, or the week before last against the Saints.
I think
we came away with 3.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love's the least sacked quarterback this year. Just being that he's so mobile, and I think they have a pretty good offensive line. And obviously,
Green Bay always has a great offensive line.
It's crazy. You got to stay.
That's what wins football games, man.
Always. That's anything that I've ever heard, and the only thing that I ever agree with is games are won and lost in the trenches. Your offensive line and defensive line make or break your team.
You can have a shitty quarterback if you give him half an hour to throw the ball.
Yeah.
The defense will eventually just collapse, and you'll have some wide open. Yeah, it's crazy because this year with the Lions, watching the game last night with the Lions and the 49ers, did they have like backups that are all pro? I mean, every one of them is awesome.
Yeah,
they've got a great offensive line, man.
I played against their starting center in high school.
Who?
Frank Ragnow. He went to Chanhassen.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Last game of high school. Yeah, I had to block him.
He's put on a little bit of weight since.
Well, he is way bigger now because he played both ways in high school. He played D tackle, and then I think he played center. Obviously, it would make sense for Chanhassen. And I played right guard, and so I had to block him a couple of times. He's and obviously now he's a big boy. Went to Arkansas, but he's super nice too. But yeah, I remember after that game, there was like 7 or 8 camera crews there trying to interview him, and he had multiple D1 offers, all these things. Just
I wonder why he chose to go to Arkansas.
I don't know. I think they kind of breed offensive linemen at Arkansas.
Okay.
I think that's kind of if you're a running back or a great defensive player, you want to go. If you want to be any good, you go to Alabama. But I think Arkansas kind of does that offensive line. They kind of farm teams, churn them out over there. Yeah,
it's good to see Harrison Smith back. It looked like he didn't lose a step. He was involved in a lot of plays.
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
Every time his
name comes up.
That's why we need to get him a Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, which is BS that has any input in your Hall of Fame career. It's an individual position.
But still, I mean, when you play as long as you have and worked as hard as you can, you kind of deserve a Super Bowl. Let's give him one.
He deserves one, but I think that if he does win a Super Bowl, he's a shoe-in Hall of Famer. If he doesn't, I think it's up in the air. But I also do think he should be either way.
Jalen Naylor had a nice tackle in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. It was on that interception.
Yep.
Grenard, pretty good game. Who else was out there? Ivan Pace Jr. He came back from his hamstring injury. Finally had 3 tackles, but
he's an animal.
He was out there.
Yeah, he's if I want to pick especially for a team that blitzes a lot like the Vikings, like he's the perfect fit for that because he just plays with reckless abandon. He doesn't have any concern for his body or anyone else's body. He's going to run through you. He's going to run over you, around you. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And undrafted too. I mean, he was a steal.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to need all of them next week. Yes. I don't know what does the injury report look like? It doesn't come out till tomorrow. It's the official injury report. So I don't know. But I think just about everybody's, except for maybe Jones, but
maybe Patrick Jones. Yeah.
But even Patrick Jones, he's having the best year he's ever had, but
doesn't mean it's
No, I think we can do pretty damn well.
I think we could do okay. Yeah, it's just as a fan, you never like any team. Never like to see anyone go down.
Yeah.
And then your name's Kirby Joseph, then you could get hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, he's the guy that tore T.J. Hawkinson's ACL, MCL last year, and he's known for it. He's known for if you're coming over the middle,
chippy.
Well, if you're coming over the middle as a receiver making catches,
he's going to
cut your knee.
Yeah,
he's going to cut your knee.
Whatever's legal, man. I mean, if you're coming across it, because then every single receiver that's coming across the middle, it's they're thinking.
Yeah, you should look at the low lights, so it's not, or his
It's not.
whatever.
Oh, it's that kind.
It's across the line.
Yeah. Well, we've got so the game time on Sunday is 7:20 Central.
Yep.
Right now the line is Detroit -3. Over under
Only
is
3-point
57.
favorites.
Over under is 57 and wait. Yeah, over under is 57.5. Man, I would take the over on that. This is going to be I think it's going to be a pretty high scoring game.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, only 3-point favorites at home. I feel like, and I'm not a gambling man, so I don't know exactly the ins and outs of odds, but usually when you're at home, I feel like you ought to automatically get that 3-point advantage in the odds.
Yeah.
And so I think they're pretty much saying, if this played at a neutral site, it's a toss up.
Yeah. Yeah. So the injury report right now is Fabian Moreau.
Yeah, he's
questionable. Pat Jones is questionable. Aaron Jones is questionable.
Yeah, he had a quad contusion, but he in his like something press conference yesterday or 2 days ago, he said he's good. He's good to go.
Yeah. Well, and I like Akers as a backup too. Cam Akers is pretty solid.
I want to see more Ty Chandler.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good.
He's currently doing kick returns, and there was a kick return in the game. He mowed someone down. He only got to like the 24, but it was funny. Yeah, that was when you could hear the pop too in the stadium. It was
ouch.
Shoulder. Yeah.
So the Vikings end the season 8-1 at home.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What's your prediction? What's your prediction next week?
Well, I gotta try to take my complete bias out of it and look at it from I don't know. I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the first game when the only loss that we have at home to Detroit, they put up 30, I think, on us. That's the most points we've allowed all year. So I do think we'll have answers to them at this point. I think that Brian Flores will make the adjustments necessary. And I think it's still going to be kind of high scoring. I'm going to say that the Vikings are going to win it. I think we're going to take the number 1 seed. And I think it's going to be somewhere in the realm of 31-24.
That's close to what I was thinking. I was thinking 38-28. And I'm going with the Vikings too. I think the Vikings are just they're kind of there's something about this team this year where they're just playing. They're not getting respect, but they don't really give a shit. They're just out there playing good football.
1-0
for the most part, and they still haven't put together that complete game.
Yeah, which is good. You start doing that in the playoffs now. You want to catch fire at the right time.
Yeah, but I think this last game was closer. Beating the Packers the way they beat the Packers.
Yeah, could use more rushing yards. Did not have a lot of that. That would have helped kind of. I think at the end of the game,
passed the ball 45 times or something.
Yeah, the last possession of the game, we passed it 3 times. First down, second down, and third down. That's okay. Yeah. I mean, it worked. Can't argue that.
That's true. Yeah, so I'm excited for this game.
38-28, you said. And
I said 38-28, yeah.
I said 31-24.
Which is, 10. And the reason why I think it's going to be that way is I think you're going to – at some time the gravy train has to slow down for Jared Goff. What makes that offense so awesome is I think it's their offensive line and Jared Goff. I don't think Amon-Ra he's a good wide receiver. I don't think he's as good as people say he is. I don't think he's great.
He works hard, yeah.
And I think I think Gibbs is a hell of a running back, but not this kind of running back without having the holes he's had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think 10 points is a big swing, but I think what's going to take is there's going to be 2 drives where we stop them, and that's going to provide the difference. I don't see their defense the way I watched them last night. I don't see the
Yeah.
defense stopping anything.
No. No.
I think as long as Darnold stays in his head, um, their secondary is not going to even. I mean, who are you going to? You can't double anybody.
That's the issue. Yeah. Yeah. You got too many weapons to try to cover them all.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that will open up the run game, and I think you will see. But I think the run game will probably, there'll be some establishment of the run game early on, just to kind of keep the play action in
Keep
play,
them honest. Yeah.
and then I think it'll come down in the fourth quarter where we're just going to kind of run it out. It's my hope.
Yeah, I love it, and that's what we could have used this last week against Packers is more running at the end there, even not even the last possession, but down into the fourth quarter when you got the ball back would have been nice to try to get some of those six
Yeah,
7 yard runs and eat the clock. But
for
yeah,
sure.
it'll be a fun one.
I did read an article on ESPN about what was it? It was which team would be the team you don't want to face
I read that article too.
in the playoffs, and he made a really compelling case about it'd be worse to play, like nobody would want to play the Vikings if the Vikings lose.
Yeah,
He said if they win, then he'd be more fearful playing the Lions. I thought that was an interesting. I'll have to find that article.
I read that too, though. Yeah,
Did you read the same thing on ESPN?
yeah, they went through like the top five. I think the thing is, not to take away it, but I think his point or her point, I don't know who wrote it. The point of the article was the wild card team you don't want to face.
Yeah.
And so if they have obviously the Vikings win, then Detroit's going to be the wild
Oh,
card.
was it wild card team? Oh,
I
no,
think that's
yeah.
what it was.
It was the team you don't want to face, but then he was making the point of it's always wild card teams.
Yeah, the sneaky ones. Yeah,
that was kind of implied. Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I read that too. That's funny. Yeah, the Vikings, if we slide down the wild card spot, I'd be scared of us. I mean, I still would be scared of us if I was the other team.
Yeah, well, this team has played, pretty well.
Just imagine when they actually put together that complete game and Sam Darnold goes out there, throws 4 touchdowns, 350, and the defense, holds the team to under 15 or under, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
When
we only lost one game on the road. We only lost one game at home. So,
yeah. And I think it's been nice in the regular season because obviously from game to game to game, there's been things that need to be fixed. But I always feel like from each game to the next, it's not the same thing that needs to be fixed. It's always something that's kind of new that pops up, something a little different from the previous game, which is, reassuring because that means that they're obviously making, those adjustments to fix those issues that are wrong. And then, okay, well, now that exposed that this thing is wrong, so let's fix that. And then, on to the next and on to the next. So obviously they're making progress and, there's only so many things that can go wrong that you keep fixing until you fix them all.
Right.
And then you're, then you're in the driver's seat. I think that's where we're headed.
Well, if the Vikings win, then they'll host the first round bye. And then, who knows what they're going to get after that.
Yeah.
If they lose the way things look right now, they might be playing in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Which is a pretty good matchup, obviously,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. And yeah, it depends too. I think the Falcons still have a chance too. We might end up playing them.
Yeah, so it's going to come down to I think it comes down to Tampa Bay and the Falcons.
Yeah, down in there. Yeah, there's only like 4 teams that haven't been eliminated or secured yet, right?
There's only one spot.
One open spot, yeah.
In the NFC right now, and it's that spot. It's the NFC South between Tampa Bay and Atlanta, and they both play. Yeah, I don't know who does Tampa Bay play this weekend.
I can tell you.
They're playing the Saints.
Oh, that's a win.
Yeah, that's a win. So it's going to be Tampa Bay.
It's going to be Tampa Bay.
If Tampa Bay wins, then the Falcons are out.
Yeah.
The Falcons play the Panthers. Yeah, so they'll both win.
Denver and the Chargers that could swap seeds, but that's obviously AFC. Doesn't matter for us.
Yeah.
I mean, Washington still Yeah, it's not all secured yet. Some interesting. Some games that are important, but most of
Yeah,
the actual playoff teams are decided so far.
yeah,
It just
yeah.
depends on who's going to play who.
Yeah, who's clinched? Who's in? Obviously, Lions, Eagles, Rams, us, the Commanders, Packers.
Packers. Yep, and then
No,
Tam. Yeah.
the only spot open is that NFC South because the wild card's all buttoned up for sure. So it's the champion, of that division.
Yeah, and as it looks now too, it looks Green Bay would play Philadelphia, and then the Commanders would end up playing the Rams. But then that's where our game against the Packers last week was important because that pushed the Packers down to that 7 seed. And then this week for the Packers and the Commanders is super important because if the Commanders lose and the Packers win, it could flip flop. Then the Packers would be playing the Rams instead of the Eagles.
Right.
So some implications there on who Green Bay will have to go play.
Yep. All right, man. That's going to be hot. So
Yeah.
next Sunday night,
Yeah,
do you want to do post game after the game?
I'm in.
You gonna
I'm
be
in.
up late?
I'll be up late. I'm a kind of a night owl anyway.
All right. I'll
Yeah,
drink
get that
some
for me.
coffee and some energy drinks.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not try to hang a TV just before jumping on.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope we get on. We're going to be in a good mood. If not, we'll be able to, at least wrap up the season and
Yeah,
give
I
some
don't.
playoff predictions.
Depending on how the game goes, obviously, if it's like a blowout, I'm going to be disappointed. But if it's close and we end up losing, I don't think I'm going to be that upset because I don't mind. Obviously, I want home field advantage for playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That the NFC's going to have to run through US Bank Stadium. But I also think that the bye is so hit or miss because you see a lot of
Yeah.
teams that get that bye, they come out rusty. A lot of teams, you
Yeah.
kind of want to just keep playing. Like you're fresh, you're hot. Like you could use a week of rest, but then you
Yeah.
kind of take it off and you get soft. But
And
yeah,
that's why
so
if we were playing in Tampa Bay, I mean, the weather's good.
that's what I'm thinking. Like, wouldn't be that big. Like, obviously, it's a big situation for Sunday night, but it's not that big of a deal if we win or lose. Like, if we win, obviously great.
Yeah.
Finish the season with 15 wins, and then you get the home field to bye. But then if you lose, like, it sucks. You lost to Detroit in Detroit.
Right.
They get the bye now, but now
Right.
you're hungry. Now you're
Yeah, I agree, man. Going into the season, I was not sold on Sam Darnold. I thought, well, it'll be serviceable. A little bit better than, I don't know, the other guy. It was just,
yeah.
I wasn't expecting much. So the fact that we are at this point now, I'm like, because I've said before, like I'm a jaded Vikings fan. If we don't, the whole point of playing a season is to win the damn season, is to win the championship.
The only reason why you're playing.
Yeah, but I knew that this year, it's probably not in the cards, man, because it just didn't seem like we were going to have
There's a lot
that
of question marks.
Yeah. But the fact that, like, okay, here we are, then it's like, all right, it's Super Bowl or bust now, boys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And whether you lose next week to Detroit and you take the wild card path in, or you go through Detroit and and the championship comes through us, I don't give a shit which way we go. That's why I'm not really that freaked out about the Detroit game next week.
Same. Yeah.
I'd like a win. If I don't get it, big deal. It's still Super Bowl or bust. I mean,
yeah, that
that's a
doesn't change
setback. That's
anything.
it.
Exactly. Yep. Doesn't change your main focus and your main goal.
All right. Well, we're seeing eye to eye, and it's a 7:20 game on. So that would make it
Sunday.
Oh shit! It's gonna be like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Let's do it. 11 o'clock. I'm gonna schedule it,
I'm in.
and we're gonna kick some ass.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll be pumped up, coming in hot.
Awesome.
Trying
Well,
not to wake anyone up us in the house.
Happy New Year's, Joe. I'm
Happy
proud
New
of
Year's
you.
to you too. Thank you.
I hope you had
Appreciate
a fantastic 2024, and I hope you have the best 2025.
Thank you. Same to you. Yeah. I hope your 2024 was average, and this one can only get better.
2024 had a lot of lessons in it.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
I got my ass kicked a little bit in 2024. I'm not complaining. I'm not a guy that ever complains, but there were some lessons I learned in 2024 that I didn't really want to learn, but thanks.
Yeah. There are some lessons for me that I knew I was going to learn, but I wasn't quite ready for exactly how I was going to learn them with the, toddler and the second newborn. So
it's
it's been
crazy,
a
man.
ride. Yeah.
It's been a hell of a ride.
It's been a ride. Yeah.
All right.
But
Enjoy your game with your wife, and
thank you.
We'll see you next week, brother.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Love you.
All right. Love you too.
Bye.
All right. Bye.